Welcome back to KARE 11 News Now. I'm Chris Harabsky. Inside a tent near San Siro Stadium in Italy, classically trained dancers from La Scala's Academy continue to rehearse for the opening number of the Milan Cortina Winter Olympics ceremony just over a week away. NBC's Claudio Lavanga reports from Milan with a behind-the-scenes look.
NBC News got exclusive access to the behind-the-scenes rehearsals for the Winter Olympics opening ceremony that will take place on February the 6th at Milan's main stadium, which is just around the corner from here. That night, the big international headliners will be Mariah Carey, the Italian tenor Andrea Bocelli, but the real stars of that show are going to be these people. Now, they are part of the 1,200 volunteers who will perform that night. Now, some of them are professional actors and dancers like them. They are students at the La Scala Academy. That's the biggest Royal Opera House here in Italy, in the city of Milan. But the vast majority of volunteers are regular people who will perform that night in front of a live audience of 60,000 people in the stadium and hundreds of millions who will tune in from around the world. Now, these volunteers are from all over the world, from 27 countries, including the US.
It is that time of the year that drivers dread. It's pothole season, and they seemingly pop up everywhere. But there's a new tool in St. Paul designed to help crews address the persistent perennial problem, even during colder weather. Callie Lichter has an up-close look at how it all works.
The hope with this piece of equipment behind me is that the city gets to potholes quicker and fills them more efficiently. Old streets, rain, and freezing and thawing all have contributed to increased reports of potholes in St. Paul. But a new machine in the Public Works Department is hoping to solve the issue earlier and more sustainably. The Bagella.
It's going to be a busy season for pothole repair in St. Paul. Unlike 23, we're getting ahead of it earlier than we did then, in part because of the equipment that's behind me.
The asphalt made by the machine is more durable in the winter than the traditional asphalt, and can be used in frigid temperatures like the ones this winter.
If you notice the cold patch that we put out, it covers the pothole, it makes it safe, but it's not durable and it doesn't last very long, and we have to go back.
The Bagella asphalt allows for lasting repairs that don't need to be redone.
Wow, so this is a new ability that the city has to get on top of the potholes we've already seen this year that are really frustrating and really dangerous.
With the Bagella, asphalt trucks do not need to go to the plant to get the mix. It can be made on site, making patches faster in the winter. And the process of making that asphalt is more sustainable for the environment.
We're taking that old asphalt, recycling it on site to do a better job of pothole patching.
While the Bagella isn't brand new technology, St. Paul Mayor Kali Herr says it helps the department look to the future.
And what are the things we can implement as we move through life cycles of equipment, and also as we modernize some of the technology that we're using.
The Bagella doesn't need to go out into the community. It can live right here. We're also told there is a concern about it scaring residents with the sound, the smoke, and the smell.
Thank you, Callie. Moving on now, a growing number of TikTok users are blasting the company, claiming that it's censoring certain content, including content around ICE in Minneapolis. Morgan Wolf is digging into those accusations and what rights users have on that platform.
Trust, politics, and technology are intersecting more than ever after TikTok users are accusing the app of censoring content around Minneapolis ICE shootings. Videos showing 0 views or some saying ineligible for recommendation. TikTok says the widespread malfunctions were caused by a power outage at a U.S. data center, not content suppression. However, there is a growing distrust in who controls online speech on all social media apps.
It's their platform, and they get to set the rules and call the shots.
Media ethics and law professor Jane Kirtley says that
the people of Minnesota,
if a social media company decided to censor content, it is their First Amendment right to do so, something established in an early internet law passed in 1996.
I think very few people understand that. They think of TikTok and other social media as being what we call public forums, places where anybody is free to speak and is only subject to restriction if they're engaging in speech that is not protected by the First Amendment, such as incitement to violence, for example, or obscenity. The only First Amendment question really would be, is the government coercing TikTok or other platforms to cooperate or to conduct this kind of surveillance?
Department of Homeland Security confirming.
But in the meantime, Kirtley encourages people to read the terms of service print when you're agreeing to what you create on social media profiles.
We have really two choices. We either choose not to use the platform at all, or we speak out about it.
There are lawmakers interested on both sides of the aisle in modifying the Communications Decency Act, and since the world looks a little bit different than it did in 1996, we'll see how that goes. Stick with us. We got more news and weather. It's coming up after the break.